Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Erica and today I'm back with another video, but this time it is not a reaction video. So a while back before the apartment fire, I had done a community post because I wanted to kind of do a Q&A for some of the things that a lot of people had been asking me in the comments. A bunch of you sent in really interesting questions, and then I basically fell off the face of the earth when I was dealing with all my apartment drama, so I never actually made the video, and that is what I'm going to do now. I have my laptop here and I've got your questions, so I'm just gonna get started. If you're looking for any kind of update on when my next videos are gonna be out, I would assume in a day or two. They're doing construction next door because my life is a joke. So I tried to tape one today and there was jackhammering, and so I just was like, can't do it. I don't want to watch a season finale for Breaking Bad with like crazy construction noise in the background. It's just not gonna be good for anyone. So anyway. First question, do you watch other YouTube reaction channels? If so, who are your favorites? Yes, I watch a ton of them. That is actually how I kind of got into doing reaction videos. I'm a big fan of, so many people is the thing. Right now, I'm kind of obsessed with Rico Reacts and Rico and Monica. They're doing the Harry Potter series, and I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter, so I've been watching them. They're so funny and so nice. And I got started originally watching the Blind Wave guys doing movie trailers. I think was one of the first that I watched ever. Nikki and Steven, I mean, there's so many of them is the thing. I'm gonna kick myself in a few minutes. If I think of more people while I'm editing that I want to shout out to, I'll just like put their names in the video and stuff, but everybody's great. Next, let's see. Do I have a favorite movie or TV show? I have favorite movies. I cannot pick one film. Probably Shawshank Redemption, Titanic, and Slumdog Millionaire, I think are the three that I go to typically. Titanic's script kind of sucks, but I think it's just such an epic piece of cinema. Shawshank, I will not bother trying to think of an error in Shawshank Redemption. And Slumdog Millionaire I just found was like an incredibly beautiful narrative. I really liked the way it was formatted. I thought the actors were fantastic. So that's probably mine. If I could live anywhere and money and citizenship weren't factors, where would it be? Domestic and foreign. Okay. Domestic would actually be somewhere I briefly lived before. I would love to go back to New Orleans. I lived there for a year after college. It is my favorite city in America. I have good friends there still. I actually went down to visit not incredibly long ago. I try to go like twice a year. Obviously 2020 has not been friendly to that, but so I would definitely love to go back to New Orleans. If citizenship weren't a factor, London. I am a huge fan of England. I think I've been 8 times, which is outrageous. So yeah, if anybody in England wants to hire me, let me know. What kind of equipment do I use? Camera and editing software, etc. Okay, so I have Adobe Premiere for editing. I used to edit on Avid, but when they did their update, it kind of messed everything up, and then all of my formats when I was putting things in were just not working. I have a Panasonic camera. The exact model is, I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. I don't know the exact model, but it's a 4K Panasonic. It's a relatively new camera, so I have no idea what it's called. And then right now I don't have a light, so I can't say anything on that. But yeah, Premiere and Panasonic. What made you start this channel and why do you do reactions? A couple of people actually asked this. Somebody else asked me what made me start one. I love them. And even though I do a ton of stuff with production, I don't watch anything. I have like no patience whatsoever when it comes to waiting like endless years for shows. So I kind of do this thing a lot of times where I don't watch shows that are ongoing, and then everybody has seen it and I'm completely behind. So I thought, you know, I enjoy these videos. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. Why don't I try making them? I know how to edit. I'm not very fast, but it just seemed like a thing that would be fun to do and, you know, put more content out there, do something of my own. Because like, so I do a lot of work with production, but that's always for other people's stuff. So yeah, that's kind of it. What countries have you visited outside the States and what countries would you like to visit? All right. So this is the thing is I spend pretty much all of my extra income, like any amount of money that I have, I pretty much put toward traveling. So I've been to a lot of countries. I am going to list them on the screen because it would be weird if I started trying to tick them off. The countries I would like to visit, there are so many. Prominently, I really want to go to Southeast Asia. So Thailand is a big one. I would love to go to Vietnam, Tanzania, Morocco, Argentina, Brazil. I have not been to Switzerland. I would love to go to Switzerland. Australia, New Zealand, pretty much everywhere. One of my life goals is to go to every continent. So basically, yeah, I want to go most places. You mentioned that you used to work in local news. Were you an on-screen personality or did you just do behind-the-scenes stuff? Also, favorite movie, show, and or game. Okay, I actually know what this is referring to, and I think this is on me that I said this wrong. I made a comment in the first Breaking Bad episode about how much the B-roll in one of the news packages looked like local news footage. I did not personally work in local news. I worked in national news. I was never on screen. I was a associate producer on a network. And I also had worked as a digital editor for a while for like a magazine and like news stuff like that. But I've never been on camera for news, and I never worked in local news. That said, my roommate is a local news personality. And so I see a lot of stuff. And then I had studied journalism for my master's degree. And so we did a lot of kind of local news type packages in one of my broadcast classes because a lot of the people that were in my class wanted to become on-air people. So that's why I'm so familiar with it, but I never did it. Favorite movie, show, or game? Yeah, again, I think I said my favorite movies already. I don't know what my favorite TV show is, like of all time. I mean, I liked Game of Thrones till season 8, but then season 8 like straight up murdered the series for me. So I'll come back to that one, I think. But right now I'm having a lot of trouble. I'm not going to say that an ongoing series that I'm watching is my favorite. And I liked Chernobyl. That was a mini series. So there's that. I loved Chernobyl. That was great. How do I determine what shows I will react to? So I picked Breaking Bad solely because it was one that I had just badly wanted to watch at that point. I had said this a couple of times in videos, but basically what happened with Breaking Bad was I didn't watch it immediately when it was on air. And then by the time I thought to myself, okay, maybe I should give this show a chance, it was really kind of far in. I think they were in like season 3 or 4, and people used to just be tweeting about it all the time. And I thought if I started watching it, it would be like a problem and I would see spoilers and it would bother me. So I wanted to wait until it was like well out of the cultural day-to-day conversation. And that I was sure that I hadn't had anything spoiled. And so that was why I picked Breaking Bad. I did do a poll for the next one, which is Ozark, which I'm going to put the next episode out for, very delayed, in a couple of days. But that was kind of selected by viewers. I probably in the future will just do polls. I really want to do movies as well. A fun fact is I have never seen almost any of the Marvel films. I have seen Black Panther and the first Iron Man, and I have not seen a single other Marvel movie. So at some point I want to get to those. But other than that, I mean, I'll probably just let viewers decide. What are you most passionate about? What fulfills you? I don't know, my friends and family. I guess that's probably a lame answer, but it's true. My family are just like wonderful and I love them very much. And my friends are awesome. I'm an only child, so my friends are proxy siblings for me. So they're very important to me. Will you be reacting to TV shows only or will you be acting? I forgot this was one of the questions. So I just answered that, but no, I do plan to do movies. The issue that I have with movies is really the editing. So right now, like the thing that's annoying if you don't do reactions, you don't know this, is that you can't download movies and TV shows even if you buy them, not to a format that you could upload into editing software. So right now I have to screen record everything. And since I have to edit out sound to not get copyright strikes, I basically have to watch the episode and then record the screens separately. which requires like a separate hour of silence, which isn't the end of the world. But with movies, if you're talking about 2, sometimes 3 hours of just pure silence after another 3 hours of taping, it gets a little lengthy. So I'm really hoping to do movies, but that is basically the delay. What do you do other than make videos? What show do you plan on doing after Breaking Bad? And last question, no offense, but are you married and do you have kids? So I have been a little bit cagey about my real life job because it's not a very big industry. I work in television production. That is all I'm going to say. I do not in any way represent my job or my company when I'm doing this. They very kindly told me it was okay to make these videos, but that is all I will say about my job, simply because this is completely separate from it. This is just something I like to do, but that's what I do for a living. And what should I plan on doing? Well, Ozark, because I already committed to starting it. And then, no, I am not married and I do not have kids. No. You seem to have a considerable amount of knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. TV shows or movies, actors or actresses, or even directors who really grabbed your attention. Also, what are some stuff you grew up on that were some of your all-time faves? This is such a hard one. I'm obsessed with Helena Bonham Carter. Anything she does, I want to watch. I think she's an incredible talent. I trust Leonardo DiCaprio's judgment with films. If he does something, I pretty much assume that it will be good. He doesn't really do bad movies. Directors, I mean, it really depends with directors. I get wary about picking directors because I can think of great ones who've made bad films, and I can think of ones who I don't really like their work, but I think it objectively is a great film. I'm gonna be honest. I think the thing that grabs my attention most when I'm watching stuff is cinematography and set design. So probably smaller names in day-to-day life, but I think that there is very little that impacts what I'm watching for me, like set design. When you see a really good costume, or you see like a really good set, or, you know, an incredible landscape, or just great camera, like for example, Queen's Gambit. I don't know if people have seen that yet. The camera work on Queen's Gambit and like the costuming and the style, it's just, that's the type of stuff that stands out to me, which honestly is part of the reason I really enjoy Breaking Bad, is because they're great with that. Stuff that I grew up with that are some of my all-time favorites. I mean, that's tough. I watched a lot of kid stuff when I was growing up. I mean, The Lion King. That's probably my favorite movie from when I was a child. I was a big Sailor Moon fan when I was a kid. But I mean, I think I was a relatively prototypical kid. I watched a lot of child stuff when I was a young adult. I watched a lot of young adult stuff, a lot of Boy Meets World. Titanic I watched when I was a little child and I was obsessed with it. Jurassic Park will have my heart forever because I think it was the first non-animated film I watched. I was way too young to watch that movie when I did. I had nightmares for like months. But yeah, I mean, comfort for me, Harry Potter, full stop. I grew up in those books and they are like my favorite. I realize that the author is somewhat problematic, and make statements that I do not always agree with, but the books themselves were a real source of comfort and joy to me in my life, and those movies, the same thing. So yeah, when I'm not feeling good or I just want to relax and have like, you know, some comfort, I will lay back and watch some Harry Potter or read it. And let's see, last but not least, how old am I and have I ever been to Mexico? I have been to Mexico. Mexico was the first, I'm sorry, one second, my boss just messaged me. Sorry about that. This happens occasionally. When you get off hours work notices, just want to make sure that's not important. How old am I? Have I ever been to Mexico? Yeah, so I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29 this year, and not too long ago either. I phrased that super weirdly. My birthday's pretty late in the year. Have I ever been to Mexico? Mexico was the first country I went to outside of the United States and the country that I was born in, which was actually Canada. I'm a dual citizen. So those were the questions that I had gotten on the Ask post for the community channel thing. If there's any that you are curious about that I didn't get to, or anything that you wanted to ask me but you hadn't put it on there, feel free to leave it down below. I don't mind doing another one of these videos if there's ever a reason to, but otherwise I'm happy to answer things just in the comments. And yeah, if you watched this whole thing, thanks so much for checking it out. That is a little bit about me. Have a good night, guys. Bye.